Hey everyone, Brayden here, coming to you with thankfully the last video we'll ever have to do on Hurricane Irma, documenting the hurricane's impact on Walt Disney World with its 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and heavy rain. From the ride-out cruise, capturing the parks during the storm, with the interventions area in Epcot flooding, cast members on the front lines fighting the oncoming waves from entering the Contemporary, some resorts getting hit particularly hard during the storm, to the post-Irma mass cleanup efforts, with the Animal Kingdom looking quite battered the next morning. Let's get started in the Magic Kingdom. The great thing about Walt Disney World is the steel and concrete construction. There's not much 70-mile-per-hour winds can really do to any of the structures themselves. The morning after Irma passed through, the Reedy Creek Fire Department posted a photo of Cinderella Castle taken at 9 a.m. looking great. You can see signs of the hurricane there though, like the trees around the hub having taken on some wind damage, but all in all, things are looking good. Wesh 2 News also got some helicopter footage overhead of the Magic Kingdom following the storm, where you can see here everything's looking great. The one thing with the parks is Disney got a one-day head start on the cleanup effort with no guests on Monday, so it's hard to gauge just how much of an impact the hurricane had on the parks themselves, but obviously it couldn't have been too much because Disney got most of it cleaned up the day of. There's been some evidence since the park reopened of some damage, such as some larger trees down around the Cinderella Castle by the moat that are not really in the guest pathways, so Disney hasn't had to clear any of that up just yet, as well as an uprooted tree along the Tomorrowland Speedway that probably actually fell over on the Speedway, but we aren't really sure about that, although I can't make it out prior to its removal in the overhead footage from Wesh 2 News on Monday. The biggest hurricane damage as far as the Magic Kingdom is concerned has to be the Jungle Cruise. Once the parks reopened Tuesday, multiple attractions were still down due to hurricane damage, but slowly those are coming back online. The Jungle Cruise, though, cast members say will be down at least a week, with fallen trees preventing the boat from even making the first turn, not to mention the rest of the riverway. Most attractions that are down are all tree-intensive ones, including the Walt Disney World Railroad, which is obviously a railroad in the trees, Tom Sawyer Island, also very tree-intensive, and the Liberty Square Riverboat in the Magic Kingdom. So all those are understandable. Actually, Big Thunder Mountain was also down, but got reopened pretty quickly. So fingers crossed that Disney can fix whatever is going on at the Jungle Cruise. Moving over to the Magic Kingdom area resorts, lots more damage than I expected, to be quite frank. The most frightening photo we got the morning following the storm was this uprooted tree at the Polynesian on its side. That is an enormous tree. There was also some unconfirmed reports of damage on the bungalows out on the water, like some roofing issues and stuff, and indeed lots of managers were actually spotted in the area assessing the damage, so we assume that most of the damage involved leaking roofs, because we never actually got any good photos of actually seeing any damage on the bungalows themselves. Speaking of damaged roofs, the Polynesian longhouses suffered some damage in that department as well, with some of the metal roofing actually becoming warped there, as you can see here. We also saw some roofing damage at the Grand Floridian, with guests reporting fallen shingles all over the ground and some interior water leakage the next day. There was also some good hurricane footage taken from the Grand Floridian, so you can really see the intensity of the storm as it was happening in the middle of the night. Look at that. Glad everyone's all right. Over at the Contemporary, there was a little flooding, but very little, and the cast members stayed on top of that situation. The scary part was a transformer blew up, creating this huge glow in the sky. A blog Mickey captured. Yikes! The Wilderness Lodge and the brand new villas also had some trees down as well. You can actually see the supports there. That tree is brand new and it fell over, but nothing too bad though. Moving over to Epcot, we got some Snapchat footage from inside the park as Hurricane Irma was approaching, with some flooding taking place over in the Interventions Plaza. I personally witnessed similar flooding like this in this very area during some of those heavy, quick storms that Florida has year-round, where it really pours for a little bit, and that often happens in that area. But pretty crazy considering the rain wasn't stopping there and would be going on basically another 24 hours. The next morning, we got some footage showing a tree down by the Leave a Legacy area at the park's entrance. Interesting stuff there. The Epcot Area Resorts also sustained some similar damage with a lot of uprooted trees. Here's a particularly bad one over at the Yacht and Beach. Very interesting stuff there. One of the more major pieces of hurricane damage we saw was some siding flying off of the beach club, actually the building itself. So hope that gets fixed up soon. The Swan and Dolphin had some flooding in the outdoor areas, as you can see here, and the pool area looks like it could definitely use a little cleanup as well. Here you can see lots of palm fronds along the pathway leading to the actual resort with all those heavy winds. Hollywood Studios seems to have been very well prepared. The Toy Story Land cranes survived. So did the cranes at Disney's Riviera Resort. So all good there. There were some cranes that went down in Miami, so we were a little concerned about that in Walt Disney World given all the construction going on, but Disney did a good job there, making sure the cranes were in good shape. Port Orleans definitely got the most tree debris damage of any of the resorts, with those beautiful pathways just covered in leaves. Given how many trees you have around Port Orleans, I'm really not surprised that it got the most extreme tree debris. That's definitely something that would happen. Port Orleans also got some more substantial damage, with lighting fixtures falling over and some of the iron fencing being heavily damaged as a result of falling tree branches. Someone on Facebook posted this photo of their guest room door, claiming the wind blew some of the paint off and a tree branch hit the door itself in the winds that night. Not sure if that's actually what caused all this. Let me know what you think happened there. Finally, we have the Animal Kingdom, and with so much tree damage around the rest of the property, you'd expect the Animal Kingdom not to be looking too good, and as you can see here, that was indeed the case. Kali River Rapids, the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, the Maharaja Jungle Trek, and Rafiki's Planet Watch are closed due to the tree debris. I actually saw some footage of the Jungle Trek on Snap Maps, where you can actually see one of the cleanup crew members sort of filming around the area, where you can see the pathway is just completely blocked by uprooted trees, so hopefully they can get that cleaned up. Through all of this, I've just been amazed by the speed at which Disney has gotten things back to normal, with the exception of those few attractions around the resort. From the uprooted trees that we were seeing around property on Monday, I thought there was no way, especially in the Animal Kingdom, seeing that from a cast member, that there was any way that the Animal Kingdom would actually be ready by Tuesday morning for reopening. But Disney called on anyone and everyone they could to help clean up all day and all night to be able to reopen on time on Tuesday. So definitely some amazing stuff there. Similarly to the Animal Kingdom, as you might guess, the Animal Kingdom Lodge wasn't doing great either the morning after. Abby sent in some photos. Here you can actually see an uprooted tree, which actually fell in the right direction and wasn't in the way of anything. Rare we see that with most of the other uprooted trees around property. They seem to have all fallen on the roads and on the Tomorrowland Speedway and all sorts of stuff like that. So definitely good to see that. We didn't get so lucky with another tree leaning against some guest room balconies, so hopefully they can get that fixed up pretty quickly. Definitely some scary stuff there. Here you've got some other debris around the area. There's also some talk of flooding in the lobby area of the Animal Kingdom Lodge, but I've yet to see any photo confirmation of that just yet. And then here you have some street signage falling apart at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Thanks for the photos, Abby. Lastly, property-wide in general, there's been some monorail track damage as the wind damaged some of the guards that actually guard the power rail along the track. Some of those sort of fell off or partially fell off. Some road signs also took some damage along the road, but all in all though, nothing too major. So there's your quick virtual tour around the resort and all the impacts Hurricane Irma had. The amount of debris everywhere, it'll definitely take a little while to get it all cleaned up, but it's just been amazing how fast Disney has gotten things back to normal for the most part. By Tuesday morning in the Magic Kingdom, all that was left of evidence of the actual hurricane itself was some cast members picking up little tree debris in the various landscaping areas. So great to see things return to normal as we have some more Walt Disney World videos in the works. If you'd like to be notified when we drop new Disney news updates, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon. This is Brayden. Have a magical day.